Hello, nerds. Welcome to the first ever Lonely Havocs podcast with me, Dan, the Lonely Havoc. I'm going to be talking about games and miniatures and other awesome nerd stuff, playing with plastic spacemen. And my favorite thing about games is the people who play them. So I hope to have some guests, folks that'll come by, and we can chit chat and just talk nonsense about all the cool games. Not just tabletop, but RPG, even a couple of board games, I like to get crazy with it. On the first ever podcast, I'm going to have Scott, the Brush Wizard. We're going to talk some nonsense with him. I'm going to talk about what makes a good opponent. And to round things out, I'm going to read the new Ork vehicle names in the sexiest voice I can come up with. So you should probably stick around for that. Thank you for listening. Sit back and enjoy yourself. Yes, the first thing I would like to talk about on the first ever Lonely Havoc podcast is being a good sport. The golden rule, do unto others and whatnot. But I think the golden rule in any of these games, tabletop or otherwise, is just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick to each other. Don't be mean. Don't be so hell-bent on winning that you lose the fact that this is a game and that it should be fun. I'm sure some tournament people out there will be like, well, I got money on the line, or there's prizes or pride or whatever you want to call it. Still no reason to be a dick. Some things just, you got to let go, man. And I think one of the best ways to not be a dick is to just celebrate all the victory, not just your victory. So whether you win or lose, you laugh, you clap, you high-five each other, whatever it is you want to do. This game is all about narrative and creating a cool story. So sometimes you get a nice save at the last minute that you definitely needed or your opponent needed. Or you do an impossible shot that you needed 6s to hit and 6s to wound or something like that, and you make it and you kill your opponent's HQ at the last moment. Things like that are really cool. And if it's happening to you, it might not be so fun, but you got to stop and think how awesome this is, that you get to spend a time playing with plastic spacemen with, a new friend. So celebrate that. Celebrate those cool moments. Another thing that's really important to me, and, with so many armies coming out with new books and the game's constantly changing, that I think you really need to be open and explain the stuff in your list that might catch your opponent off guard. I don't mean you have to go give them a rundown of each and every little thing that they do, but it's important, especially if they have an improved save or they have some sort of weapon that is incredibly powerful, something that they might not expect. Just go through your list real quick. These guys do this. These guys do this. These guys move super fast. These guys have a cool invulnerable save. So some could say that part of the skill of the game is knowing what's out there, what can do what, and sure, for maybe a tournament player or people that are a little more involved or have time or money to buy every codex and read it, you can do that. But I think for casual players, people like myself that just like to play for fun, I don't know what all the books do. I don't know what all the units do and how powerful they can be. So I like to give my opponent a fighting chance and let them know exactly what they're going to be standing up against. I don't want them to kind of go against a unit with something that couldn't possibly kill it or couldn't hurt it, or just dive headfirst into something that will wipe them out completely because maybe they didn't understand the stats of the weapon or the range of the weapon or something like that. So, that's important to me. So just give your opponent a quick rundown. I'm not saying you have to hand them a list. I mean, that's handy, but give them a quick once-over. Tell them how cool your guys are and what their special rules are. I also think it's important to be willing to go back, to give your opponents a mulligan every once in a while, a do-over, especially for newer players that might not understand completely what they're doing just yet. So give them a chance to say, that was a stupid move. Can I go back and redo that move? I don't mean let them do the whole turn over again. I mean, I moved these guys to the left, and I probably should have moved them to the right. Okay, that's cool. Go ahead and move them to the right. And I'm not talking about let them go back to the movement phase when they're already in the shooting phase or something like that. But, maybe they realize that they've made a stupid mistake. They've already taken their hands off the models. This isn't chess. You can go back once you've taken your hand off the piece at least once. I'm not saying we do it the whole goddamn game. I'm saying we just, if you realize something is bad, maybe even point it out, especially to a newer player. Hey, if you move this way, you're going to be wide out in the open, and then this will happen, and then I'll probably take this unit out. Or these guys might be able to move really fast and give a charge here, so you might want to rethink how close in you're moving. Things like that. At least give them the benefit of a mulligan at least once. Most importantly, to me, always introduce yourself. I've played so many people that were a little awkward, didn't tell me their names or anything, just got into the game, started playing. And that's really weird to me. I like to know who I'm playing against. I like to talk about other things than just the game while I'm playing. I am very focused for sure because I like winning, but I also like knowing people and what they're about. That's probably my favorite thing. That's the reason I play this game so often, because it gives me an opportunity to meet people and learn something new about them. So introduce yourself. And most importantly, shake hands after the game. Congratulate victory. Congratulate a good game, even if they lost. Always do that. Always make that connection. I know touching people can be weird, but just touch their hand. Give it a little shake. Laugh and have fun. Just ask questions about your opponent's list, how they painted something, what gave them their inspiration. Get people talking about their army, and the conversation will just start flowing. That's the best part about it. I like to know what's up with people. So give that a try. And now I am going to get my friend Scott the Brush Wizard on the line, and we're going to have some random conversation. It's time for 20-odd questions with some of my favorite hobbyists. Let's do this thing. All right, so you ready?
I'm not sure if I'm ready. I don't know what I signed on for.
Are you done? Are you done making a bunch of goddamn noise in the background? All right.
This chair is like really squeaky.
That's an amazing chair.
I know.
Right, let's do this. Count 3, 2, 1. We're on. Hey, we're on. We're on. Scott.
Ooh.
Scott, we're on.
Hey, we're on.
Hey, you're on the 20 odd questions with Scott the Brush Wizard, Ferguson, Scoot McGroot. What's up, man? Fergie, Ferg. Well, are you ready for me to ask you a bunch of random questions so that the two people listening to the podcast can get to know you better?
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Like the anticipation is killing me.
This is the culmination of your whole career right now.
Right.
Like
when I went to Adepticon for the first time, I didn't expect that 2 years later I'd be like here.
That you would still even know me.
I know. I'd be like, this is fucking weirdo.
This fucking guy. First question.
All right.
Shut up. First question. What's your favorite paint color?
It would be HAVOC yellow. No, it's pink, isn't it? No, it's actually Rhinox Hide.
Yeah, you fucked that up. Rhinox Hide.
Rhinox Hide.
Rhinox Hide for the win. First game you got into. Role-playing, tabletop, otherwise. You really got into that got you in this mess.
First game ever. Yeah, that got us hooked on role-playing games and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Dragon Strike, the board game.
Dragon Strike.
Yeah, it came with a VHS tape. It had horrible acting. It was awesome. And this DM guy who's like the I am the game master.
Right.
And he's all in a black turtleneck because it's 1994. And the guy he's like, welcome to Dragon Strike. I am your game master. And I am here to blah blah blah. And then there's a whole YouTube video they took it and put it on. But anyway, after that, we're like, ooh, this stuff's kind of cool. And my uncle
and strikes.
Yeah. And my uncle was like big into RuneQuest and like D&D and stuff. So that was like our entry, and then after that we started playing D&D and everything.
Awesome. You have one disc to take to a desert island soundtrack. What do you bring?
Like it has to be a soundtrack disc.
An album of some sort.
Any album.
It could be a recording of this podcast. It could be any album.
Any album would have to be the long version of Ultimate Sinatra.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you wearing a fedora right now?
Like 100 songs of Frank Sinatra. You can't get tired of that shit because there's 100 of them. But do you have like you can just bring a disc, but you can't bring like the player. So what's the point of having the disc?
you can stare at it. Does it have good art on the disc itself?
Like, hey Frankie, how's it going today?
You can use it to signal planes,
right?
Because
like
it's reflective.
Flash the pilot, like, hey.
How do you feel
without the disc?
How do you feel about Tom Cruise?
Old Tom Cruise or new Tom Cruise? Because I like
Cruise as he stands today.
I don't know. I haven't watched anything with Tom Cruise since like the third Mission Impossible movie.
A good movie. Did you have
like
MySpace?
Like number 20?
Did you have MySpace back in the day?
MySpace? Hell yeah, I had MySpace.
Did you have it? Did you have a glittery graphic on your MySpace?
More than likely, everybody did in like post 1998 internet. I had an Angel Fire page at one point too.
Oh, I had one of those too.
I know.
What's your favorite miniature? Favorite model?
Favorite model ever. Heidi Klum.
Ever. That you actually were able to touch.
My favorite, my favorite model ever, or miniature ever. I really like the Vlad the Impaler bust that I did.
Yeah, that's your best paint
job. But as far as like, it's probably one of my best paint jobs. My favorite like gaming piece is probably that Centaur Tech Priest that I did.
Oh, the like Centaur Tech Priest. Yep.
Yeah, because it's like my first major conversion that wasn't just like a weapon swap or something.
Right. Awesome. This is a big one. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Good answer. You can stay on. What size butt plug do you prefer?
Maybe like tall GW like paint pot.
Like a medium husky, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
What's your personal philosophy? Hit me with it.
I don't know if I have one.
You don't have a personal? Give it.
Well, like as far as like painting goes, I tell people don't ever judge your stuff based off of other people's stuff. Just always look at your own stuff. And
that's also a good personal philosophy.
But as personal philosophy is don't get into political conversations with friends, because then half your friend base will disappear.
If you could ride any animal into battle, what would it be?
War mammoth would be pretty cool.
Mammoth? A whole mammoth?
A whole mammoth. A mammoth. Like, like in...
I mean, they're pretty large in general.
The end of the third Lord of the Rings movie, those things are badass.
I don't think I saw the Lord of the Rings movies, to be honest.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So it's a zombie apocalypse. What's your preferred weapon?
Something without gasoline or ammo, so it had to be some sort of melee weapon. Probably boxing gloves. No.
I like that. Like boxing gloves with like barbed wire on them or something would be cool.
Ooh, no, barbed wire is cliche ever since Walking Dead. I
don't watch that show. Time up. Okay, let's see.
Boxing
what other
gloves.
hobbies? What other hobbies do you have?
I have a bass guitar that I'm adequate with. I play video games like every adult male who grew up in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. I listen to mostly I listen to music more than I listen to music more than I watch TV. Or movies.
Yeah.
I collect books. I don't actually read the books because I don't have time.
Reading, it's hard though.
I go, this sounds like it's a really good novel. I'm gonna buy that.
And then tell people that you read it.
And 2 years later, it's still sitting with maybe the first part of the first chapter read.
Nice.
I haven't had time to read that.
Have you played any games lately?
Actually, I went back and I started playing Metal Gear Solid 5 again.
Nice.
And just wandering around and sneaking into places and then trying to do all the little side missions. Or you know how fun it is to take over a base with just a grenade launcher, a rocket launcher, and the final countdown playing in the background?
Yes, I do.
I found it because in that game you can have you find cassette tapes of 80s music, and one of them is the final countdown. I found it. I'm like, oh shit,
that's pretty epic.
So then I found this base up on a cliff, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sneak into this place and just
bombing the shit out of
it. Go to town. And so I turned on the final countdown and I snuck up the side of this hill. And as soon as it the first it's the final countdown went off, I popped around a corner and started chucking grenades at people.
Excellent. Yeah. So what's the last tabletop game you've played? And did you win?
Last tabletop game I played was Kill Team, and I lost horribly.
Who'd you lose against?
I played against Nids. So it was my buddy Tim, and I played against his half-assembled Nids.
They didn't have any arms?
Didn't have any. He was playing all Gene Stealers, and I just got completely decimated.
Swamped.
I suck at Kill Team badly.
So what inspires you in your life and your art, sir? What drives you? Tell me. Let's get to the core. Let's get to the core of Scott.
What drives? I just like to paint pretty things.
No reason.
No real reason. I just like to I get an idea in my head about something, and then I go, "Ooh, this seems like it'd be really cool." Like the Conquest, that issue 5 Conquest Space Marine that only the people in the UK can get right now. I was like, that guy's badass. He's drawing his power sword.
Yeah. That guy's cool.
And how badass would it be if I could make him into a Deathwatch guy, and then build a display base for him where he's surrounded by Gene Stealers or some sort of
last stand situation.
Last stand. Either Orks. I almost think Orks just to poke fun at Greg. Have some dead orc bodies on the ground from and maybe an empty bolt rifle laying next to him, and then he's just got rock structures around him, and Orks and Gretchen poking their heads around.
Do it.
And
do you have the model?
He's coming to me. I've got
look at you.
What's his name? Errant Wolf Dave on Twitter got me a copy.
Yeah.
He sent it to me, so it's on its way right now.
So last question.
Yep.
You got anything to promote? Anything that you're trying to put out there?
Trying to put out there my
trying to do
my sweet YouTube channel, which is what's it? YouTube.
The YouTube channel is on YouTube?
Yeah, no. I'm trying to remember if I have a custom URL or not, but I don't.
Weak.
The brushwizard.com, which you can get to my YouTube channel from there anyway. So
I didn't know you had a .com.
I do. I have a sweet.com.
What are you doing on your YouTube channel?
I do time lapse videos of miniature painting, and the first set of videos that I've done are all like just time lapse videos, not really any talking over top of it. I'm working on a new set that actually have like little tutorials built into it.
Oh.
So it'll be like, today I'm going to paint this shoulder pad, and on this shoulder pad, I'm going to do it like this. And blah 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 blah. Here's this, and okay. So now you see me paint this shoulder pad, and now I'm going to paint the rest of this model and that style, so you can follow along. So like half the model will be painted like that. Like say it was the armor on a guy, it'd be like half the armor's painted already. It's like, hey everybody, today I'm going to paint this arm piece, and I'll just like this other piece is over here. I'll show you how I did it using this arm piece, and then it'll be paint the arm piece, and then paint the rest of the model that's not done yet.
Do you talk like that in the video?
I do actually. Like, hey,
do you have a video voice?
I have a tendency to like start my videos with, "Hey everybody."
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody. Today.
So why should someone watch your video? Because there's like hundreds of painting videos out there. What makes yours different and better?
Nothing.
Well, thanks, Brush Wizard. That's awesome.
I know, right?
Yeah. So go check out Brush Wizard on YouTube. Yeah. There's nothing good about it.
Nothing good about it at all. It's a work. It's a deep work in progress, guys. I'm not super stoked about it, but we're working on it. It'll definitely be a thing. A better thing
it's
by
gonna be a thing.
Adepticon.
I like a good tutorial video. All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for being on the thing. And we're gonna do a thing later on.
Right.
All right, man. Peace and chicken grease. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks.
And now for the end of the show, I'm going to read the names of the new Ork vehicles in the sexiest voice I can come up with. There's some good ones. Yo, girl. Boom Daka Snazwagon. Yeah, you like that? Make a trap. Make a track. Scrapjet. Rucka truck. Squig buggy. Shock jump dragster. You like that shock jump dragster? I do. I think it's the best I could do. They're sexy names. Thanks for listening to the HAVOC Cast. Good night.